Masters Las Vegas is brought to you by Asus, Republic of Gamers, HyperX, Monster Energy, live at MGM Grand.
Our second semi-final. Who will meet Virtus Pro in the grand finals of DreamHack Masters Vegas? Will it be too easy for North, or will SK prove to be too strong for the Danes? We'll find out. Either way, I'm your host, Alex Machine Richardson, and I am joined by three merry men to go ahead and dissect exactly how this one is going to go down. Because, to be honest, there is a lot of excitement surrounding this one. Our desk outlined in our pre-show surrounding the excitement of North, a Danish roster that's going to have to do better than their compadres, Astralis, knocked out in the first semi-final. Either way, I am joined by Duncan Thorin Shields, Jason Moses O'Toole, and Janko YNK Paunovic to break this one down. And we start with, of course, a welcome to Jason to the desk.
Hey.
Hey, you enjoyed that last one?
I did actually enjoy that last one. It was good.
Did you see the swiftness, the swift dispatch of Astralis on those, well, first and third map?
Yeah, I was chatting with Anders in between the games, so that always brings a smile to my face.
Any bets on the game?
No, not this time around. Not this time.
No.
Right?
Any Twitter predictions?
Not that kind of a game,
those?
Duncan.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to trigger Duncan and just say that this is what the major final should have been like.
Okay.
Should have doesn't really matter. I mean, you should have a full head of hair, probably be a foot taller, and have large balls.
And we're back in the room.
Won't get into how he knows that last part, but
Don't
No,
worry, mate.
absolutely not. Yeah, the
I assert dominance over all of them. I say, cough. Right, you can be on the desk.
That's it. That's how it works. Yeah, that's why Malmo was such an adventure for me when we first started working together. Let's get into it, though, of course. North versus SK. We start by bringing up the bracket to remind you of what we said already. VP are, yes, in the grand finals, but also, how did we get to this point? Those quarterfinals were an intriguing battle, seeing Gambit, of all people, test North, at least to an extent, and Na'Vi rolling over. But the Na'Vi members themselves, and Simple specifically, stating that was one of the best games of Counter-Strike he ever played, in fact, in his words. Janko, what do you make of that one?
Good acting performance.
exactly. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. The first game was very exciting. I mean, the first map was very, very exciting, but it was very, very scrappy as well in terms of CS. That the CS that was being played. The second map was more or less a blowout, and for me, it looked like, you know, Na'Vi kind of lost their spirit. Well, actually, I think it was fairly obvious, but not just because of the score, but because in the manner in which they played out that second map. So, right, Oscar goes to Simple, I guess.
Oscar goes to Simple. I was sitting there like, is that a roster announcement? What's happening here? No. Okay.
You never know,
The
Alex.
award. You never do. Either way, SK have yet to drop a single map here in DreamHack Masters. Duncan, is this where it happens?
I think almost certainly. Like, this one has, I mean, the other series had it as well. This one has 3 maps written all over it. It's real tough to see how either team's going to 2-0. The map pools are such that they have a lot of options as to where they can go to find a more weak map for their opponent. And very much like the other series, even though the other series ended up being a blowout, potentially 3 maps where both teams can compete. So that usually spells a 3-mapper.
Okay, expecting a full 3 maps either way. Will this be a little less underwhelming than the performance we saw from Astralis? Will North be the ones to represent Denmark, Jason? What are we saying?
I think they will be. I think there's, I mean, this series, more so than the last one, I actually think this one's going to be, obviously with hindsight it's going to be closer, but even before this I thought this would be the closer series. I think it's going to be very cool watching 2 teams who have these new players just coming in. These are going to be their rosters moving forward. It's not just like the stand-ins for one event. So it's going to be nice seeing, they're going to be tested very early on, obviously. Yeah. And I think AZ has actually looked much better. Because it's interesting, before this event I thought the AZ pickup was a little bit more risky from North than Phelps going to SK. But now when you see them playing out, I think actually AZ's fit in much better in this event than Phelps has in SK so far.
Ooh, okay, well this is going to be intriguing to say. In fact, the fact that we do have 2 new additions to 2 very strong rosters towards the end of 2016. We get to see exactly which one has settled in quicker for DreamHack Masters. Well, we are going to be talking about this one at length, but first we're going to hear from the players themselves, getting to know what vibes they were feeling ahead of the semi-final.
So the road for us in this tournament started out pretty badly.
We started off against Optic. We took a gamble with our Infernal.
Both of them headshot Semicell and Config out of the round.
It didn't went so well, and we made some mistakes that cost us the game.
We play against Tyloo in the first match. It's not a hard match because we know the Tyloo style. They play a different CS. They just rush sometimes.
And the second one against Cloud9. We won pretty convincingly both matches, and that kind of boosted our confidence for the playoffs.
I think we need to be better to adapt to how the enemies are playing. Adapting is probably our weakness right now, but we're definitely working on it.
Mirage used to be one of our best maps, and today, even if it was very difficult to beat Navi, and it means a lot to beat them, they're very good on this map, we need to make our enemies fear us on this map, and that's not actually what's happening nowadays.
They're really structured, and if you do any kind of small mistakes, they'll punish you for it. We kind of ended up in a double overtime instead of closing out the game very fast.
Way too close. We should have closed way before, but in the end, Magic Boy did some good clutches.
Because it's the CT side against him, aggressive in overtime.
We are in the semi-final.
Yeah, it was just perfect. I feel pretty confident. The team is playing really well right now.
We are gonna win.
North is an opponent that in the past we beat them sometimes.
They have a lot of good players. Config and Magic Boys are good players.
Doesn't matter which one's gonna be our opponent, it's gonna feel like revenge, and we wanna win this time.
Thoroughly excited for this one. Now, Janko, I think we have to start a discussion surrounding how tested North have been in this tournament. You look at the previous results that they've picked up, I mean, even a loss to Optic, but also, I mean, let me get it right, Complexity and a win against Optic as well. They basically played North America up until that Gambit quarterfinal. This is no doubt going to be, I mean, it's a leap. It's unfathomable, the difference between perhaps even the quarter and the semi, wouldn't you say?
To an extent.
Okay, the quarter perhaps.
I feel the quarter was more one-sided in terms of result than it was in actual play,
yeah.
right? But North really did step up since that first game. It was the first Inferno that we've seen since the rework of the map, and it was interesting to see how they approach it. You could see even in the Gambit game, they played it again in the quarterfinals. They had a big lead, but then that lead started melting away when they were on the T side. You could see that they have a couple of executes, but really, at the end of the day, not too much that they can basically work around. So if that initial playbook doesn't work, they don't have a plan C or a plan D.
A lack of depth on North, is that what we're suggesting here, Jason?
Yeah, perhaps tactically, but I mean, that's to be expected with a new player coming in. Where they don't have any lack of depth is in terms of the skill of their players. I mean, they're incredibly talented, and you could even see it in SK. They're going to be willing to play some of that individual style because that's how they got over Na'Vi. They had at times when their tactics broke down to play the individual game. So if you're North, you're going to be very happy with that, considering you have Magist, you have Config, you have AZ. I mean, you have these guys who can be some of the best in the server. Any one of those three guys can just take over the game. And then we haven't even gotten to the fact that MSL is just playing far above his level recently.
Exactly where I wanted to take this, Duncan. We have to rehash this story because it's starting to become less of a meme and more perhaps even a real storyline.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, so MSL famously, always a very good mind for the game, really good in-game leader. It's just that his stats would always be quite terrible, actually. If you watched him play, he even knew it. He put himself in positions where he was the bait, you know. He would draw people's attention, he would get information if someone else was going to get the kill. The difference is now, his storyline is that since he changed his sensitivity to a lower sensitivity, by the way, he's been getting a lot more kills, he's been having a lot more game impact. Now, sure, thus far that has been the case. Obviously, we need a big sample size to really know if that's the case. But I also wonder how much of it is that they changed some of the roles up. They brought in AZ. He's got a very, very skilled team behind him now in some senses. And so maybe he's playing a little bit differently himself in terms of the spots he plays or how he's playing within the system. So I think this is a good example, this game, of how much of that is true, how much of that's in his own head, and how much of that he really believes.
Yeah. I mean, so it's really interesting. I saw it, just posted on Reddit before, the stark contrast. There was a big red line painted onto a graphic of before AZ joined, when AZ joined. And it is night and day. I think he's had one negative rating since he's been here at DreamHack Masters or prior to that. It's kind of really cool to see the impact one player can have. Jason, you can attest to this, right? One player can make it in a world of difference to a team.
Yeah, and especially when you're an in-game leader, when you typically see like the big jumps in an in-game leader, it's usually because they have a team that's kind of that's really well prepared in the tactics and the kind of system that he wants to play as an in-game leader, and he starts to trust them more, knowing what the next step in the strategy is in each round. So he doesn't have to micromanage as much. So that's when he can focus a little bit more on his game. I think that's a big reason more than any setting change that there might be, although certainly that does help. And I know Lurpus also brought up the point on Twitter that the fact that the coaching rule, the coaches can actually talk. There could be, he doesn't have to do as much because he's got the coach behind him doing things. So all this could play a part, and that's why the larger sample size is needed. But for now, MSL has looked great in the quarterfinals.
I did actually do some research regarding that. I actually messaged MSL just after we started having that discussion in the green room, and I asked, how much more is Rugger calling? And he said, no, the same calls are being made by me. The only difference is that Rugger is more of still sitting there and he's communicating more with the players that are underperforming. He's doing the more motivational stuff than anything else. But the comms, the strats, still coming from me, and I'm fragging better. So I mean, that's positive, I guess, in terms of.
It's got to be the best feeling as MSL, who's spent so long just like taking all the negativity, all the tweets, all the forum posts, and then to have this event where you just kind of explode and you're just a beast individually wise. That's got to be such like a cool, like I told you so. Like I always knew I had this, but like no one ever could see it. And obviously, it's going to be better if it lasts longer. But for now, at least, MSL's got to be feeling very, very good.
Absolutely. And I do want to just quickly remind everyone that there is still going to be a storyline coming into 2017 of a battle for the best Danish team. Do we think that it's still a valid kind of concept? Yes, Australia's just won the major, but we've got 2017
Major's
ahead.
A nice little area to be
ahead.
Sure.
But I mean, North can definitely kind of keep this competition.
They are, but the problem is at the moment. Here's the thing: in terms of the levels of the teams taking out results, they're pretty close. Like it's looking like the new Norths could certainly do it. Their problem is the others have got a head start. They've got the major, they've got 4 finals in a row, they've had I think it's 3 finals in a row.
Okay.
They've got all those top 4 finishes. So I know North's a very good team, but they actually haven't had many top 4 finishes, many finals, many titles recent. So they've got to really make up in terms of the accomplishments to put that side of the scale and balance that out,
So maybe end of 202017 we can maybe have this discussion
time, obviously,
again. We'll have this discussion again. Okay, let's move into their opponents. It is SK, the Brazilians, and the debate Jason has started is that he believes that Phelps hasn't quite gelled with the team as much as we've seen AZ jumping into the Danish ranks.
I think it's hard for either team still. It's only been 2 weeks since they've made 3 weeks, maybe at this point, since they've made the change. But with SK, it's a matter of that they've spent so much time playing on a high level, and most of the roster has been together for a long time, that even with Fox, they had the 2 high placings at the major. They make the semifinals, I mean, with a stand-in, so that's an incredible feat from their side as well. I think that's the main thing. When you have the majority of your team on point, adding a 5th player and just showing him the ropes of some of the details and getting adjusted to maybe some of the roles that are being swapped, you're not going to see a huge drop down. That's why Fnatic got out of groups at this tournament, because they never had that structure or anything of that sort. They were really reliant on individual skill, and if that doesn't work for them in a tournament, that's it, they're out. Right. Well, with SK, you always have some sort of a structure to fall back on. That's why you almost never see them like drop out of the group stages. Sure, they will lose to a Virtus Pro, they will lose to an Astralis, but they will not lose to a Gambit, perhaps.
Yeah. Can we rehash the evolution of this SK roster? I mean, it has to be brief, admittedly, but I think it's very interesting that we've gone from what was, like super strat heavy. This is like super tactical Counter-Strike, and that's why they're picking up these surprise wins. To the point now where we're sitting there going, they house the best players in the world, and Fallen sometimes makes great calls.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's actually a similar evolution to what's happened with North. As an in-game leader, if you are a tactical in-game leader, you have to evaluate what tools you have. So in the early days, he had very few good players in that team. Like the original team, Kaboom, Keed, the only good player really, legitimately, was Fur. And so they based the whole game around him. He was like the spearhead tactically. You still see him do it sometimes, like on Mirage on T-side. But the whole game had to be around him. And at the time, yeah, he let someone else up. Fallen was just like a support player. He wasn't even particularly impressive, you know. In fact, you'd probably have said someone like Bolts was probably like one of the better players, but not even as good as he is in Immortals now. Then when they went forwards, obviously the key pickup was they found this guy called Zero, seemingly out of nowhere, brought him in, and he just became such a stable force that they kind of shifted the team around him. So they were still very tactical, but now they had this one player who was getting to that level where maybe he could play at a superstar kind of capability. And then there was obviously that fateful move 2 days before DreamHack Winter, Face It Stage 3, where they brought in FNX, they brought in Taco from the Immortals lineup. FNX, obviously an old school player, had played actually in the past already with Fallen, but they'd had a disagreement, interestingly enough, so seeing what that would mirror later. And then actually immediately they were just very, very good. And they had this style where they started to shift that tactical style to being more like, it's more like they played as like a unit, and they would still have the map control element that you think of with the very strat-heavy teams, but it's like you could see they were making like audibles within that, just making dynamic calls off that, and they had so many good players, Cold Zero, Fallen, FNX, who know how to make a read, that these guys were then able to kind of crack the game wide open.
And now Fur, I mean, with him on our screens, we were singing his praises yesterday, taking that kind of Fur God title to another level, right, Jason?
He's the only reason they were even in that Mirage game by the end of it. I mean, if without him playing at that level, even if he's just, you know, like 80% of what we saw yesterday, they lose that match likely. So yeah, he's been incredible, and that's the skills that, you know, Duncan just mentioned, why he was the focal point of them before they started bringing in a little bit more talent. The only reason that he gave it up, obviously, when Cold comes in, the big thing is if you're going to have this tactical system, it's not necessarily having this massive amount of skill, it's having the reliable. And the fact that Cold is so consistent that you can rely on him doing his job, getting those 20 kills, like you know what you're going to get out of him every time. And that's what really makes this system work, is that not that people have to peak and have incredible games, but that, you know, they're just going to be consistent at all times.
Yeah, consistency is key. We have to get a little bit of a discussion going regarding maps before they do pop up on screen. I want to make sure we do set the scene. I'll let Yanko quickly just let his thoughts be known before Duncan takes us on the walkthrough.
I think North has a slight advantage because of SK's doesn't play Cash, and Nuke as well is a weak map for them. So I'm gonna guess that they're going to veto Nuke because it's maybe North's strongest map, and that way they can play. If North decides to pick Cash, it's a map that's a bit more open. You can, you know, hope to make something happen. While on North side they will veto Train, which is like Nuke is for North, Train is for SK.
Okay, so Duncan, they're basically taking away the real peak map for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially it's like a peak map, but one that you're not that good on yourself. Now this is where it gets interesting, because after those two, they actually have very divergent maps. Like they've both forced a ban out of each other, essentially. These aren't normal bans that they'd have to do against everyone in theory. They do in general, just that these also happen to be the strongest. So SK is going to pick Cash. They're actually going to dare to say this is the weak map once Train's out of the equation for North. But it's not as though SK's been fantastic on Cash. Like, famously, the map they used to have to ban because they used to not want to play. They used to not want Dust.
European teams, especially.
They switched it out from being Dust 2 to that. So the Mirage pick here makes a lot of sense. Everyone who plays against SK at the moment, if you have Mirage in your pool, you're going to go against it. That's why Na'Vi took it. And this is one where it's actually one of MSL's favorite maps. Now it feels as though we're going to end up on Overpass at this point in time, because since it's left to MSL to pick what it's going to be, I figured as much. Cobble's going to go out. We're going to go to Overpass. And so what's key about this series right here is Mirage, I think, is real nice for the guys from North. Cash is just, for me, wide open. I have no idea who will win that one. It's so tough to know. Both teams play it so rarely. And if we get to the decider Overpass, that could be a really, really good game.
Yeah, it's awesome. You see the maps then on your screen, Jason. What springs to mind? You mirror Duncan's sentiments that we're going to maybe see a good competitive Cash?
I think we will. And actually, I mean, SK doesn't play it very much, and it's been a ban for theirs. But who did they play it against recently? They actually, it did get into a series with them somehow. They had to
North
do it
American Pro League.
Possibly. Yeah, but no, they're actually Cash. They look good. I feel like it was against one.
NIP again.
It was at a LAN. Yeah, it might have been, and it was like a 16-14 loss. But it was kind of like a Hail Mary, especially because here's the thing: they have all the skills. They have incredibly skilled players. This is also a map that can be very tactical, and we know they have those. And now you have them on a map where, you know, they can really just unleash. This is where we talk about teams sometimes like the Mouse Sports. They have no pressure. This is a map that gives SK no pressure, even though it is their pick. Like they don't they don't really have anything that they have to live up to on this map.
So we're brainstorming at Yanko. Cash. We start with Cash. We then move to Mirage. Do we see a third?
Probably.
It's a likelihood.
I mean, with these two maps, like, sure, you pick Mirage against SK, and it has been a map that's been shaky for them for a while now, but it is Fur's like best map. He always performs, even when like Cold Zero was the star and in that old lineup, you could always rely on Fur to have a good performance on Mirage, and it is one of those, maps that everyone knows at this point. So for me, it's not a given for the North guys, especially because on the T side they like to go for some stuff like they still go for those A smokes, the default ones, and that executes. I don't think that works that well anymore. So for the Cash, I say there is pressure on SK in the sense that it is their pick. I mean, you pick the map, you kind of you picked it because you want to win it, obviously. So I feel that they have something in store. They wouldn't pick it if they didn't have anything prepared on it. And the big deal is that MSL really despises Cash almost, and really has, for me, a wrong view about the map in itself and how it works. So that's why I think it's a good map for SK. I think they have an advantage on it.
Well, of course, we do have the luxury of coming back in between maps, and so the discussion now comes to our predictions for this map. Figured we may as well do it that way. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, but can we also say who's going to win the series?
Yeah, we'll do both. Okay. Yeah. So
don't want any
this is the series predictions. You see beneath you. This will be your series prediction.
You being the only one historically.
Historian. Yeah.
You do different ones than you see on Twitter.
Oh, sure.
I also do that as well, by the way. But you still do it as well?
Guys, so the graphic will be showing your series prediction.
Okay.
What have we got for me, Duncan?
So I actually think, the problem I have here is this SK pick of Cash. Like, that worries me because I agree. I think if MSL's mind is so set against it, that's not a good sign. But I don't have this confidence that SK are very reliable, that they know they can win it. So I'm actually going to say, crazily enough, that I think North's going to win this, but I'm going to say 2-1 because the key is, even if North somehow were able to win Cash, it's actually not a given that you win Mirage. I do think they're favored to win that, but let's say you win that one. I don't know, put it this way, historically, they're not a team that win 2-0s in general. It's nearly always 3 maps win or lose because they have that up and down nature. And I know that Mirage and Overpass, those are 2 maps that it feels like in this SK composition, you put Fur to the forefront and you let him go to work. So I know that SK certainly can be dangerous there, but I'm going to say that North's going to edge it. I love watching Danish teams when they play Overpass, and I feel like if they get there, MSL now with the fragging and the AZ in his team, I think they can get the win this time.
We saw Astralis succeed on Overpass as well. You're right, those Danes just got to...
Don't remember what happened in that match, so move on.
Moving on. Jason, let's go.
Yeah, I also think I think this is going to be a very cool series just because these first 2 maps really, to me as well, are 50-50. Cash being up in the air for both teams, but also Mirage. While, SK's look shaky on it, it's also the map I feel like Phelps has had the most impact, and Phelps is feeling very comfortable on within the team, on Mirage specifically. I'm going to take North 2-1, but I think this is going to be a very, very cool series.
This is interesting. 2 for North. It's not what I would have anticipated, actually, coming towards this prediction segment.
I actually dislike the veto for North. I feel like maybe I'm okay with the Mirage pick, but I definitely feel they should have went for Cobble as a 3rd map and not Overpass, and that's why I think SK will take it 2-1, if not 2-0.
That's the weirdest part, though, Janko, is like traditionally, with what would have been in the pool, it would have been SK who gets to pick, and they just said, we're the ones who are going to ban Cobble and we're going to force you to play Overpass. But that's not strange. They left it in there, and it was actually MSL who said, we're going to have to ban Inferno out, whereas, they'd hinted maybe they would play
because Cobble is historically one of the best maps for North. When they were still Dignitas, they were probably the best Cobble team, even though they wouldn't make like the semi-final of a tournament. While SK has been struggling on that map for, at this point, 9 months, 10 months. It's never been a top 3 map for SK in that period of time.
Awesome. Well, the desk is split. Yanko SK and Jason and Duncan going for the Brazilian.
Time to separate the men from the boys.
I'll remember you said that.
Let's do it. We'll leave it there for now. We have to hear what our caster is saying.
It's on the internet now.
The predictions are going well. They're going swimmingly here, Anders and Semler. What are you saying over there?
I mean, you don't even have to ask. You already know, Alex.
I mean, I don't know. We know you. You're just like a write-off.
Well, we win then by default. We've got the majority.
Yeah.
So,
August, anyone joining Yanko? You feeling like you might follow your Serbian brother?
Well,
talk about pressure.
I was about to say. Also,
I mean, he's got a team with Yanko after this. After what happened with the major.
considering I've already made my prediction on Twitter, I kind of have to stick to it.
I'm not staying up to date.
No, you're not. So North for me.
It is. Oh, okay. Wow, there's a lot of faith in North, and that would be quite the final as well.
All right, so this is going off of a few things, right? Like North, they're very confident in Mirage after having talked with the players. They feel like they've really got a good system working, that the swap hasn't really affected them too much. Config is feeling very good on the map in particular, and when Config is feeling good, is probably thinking North are standing a pretty good chance. And then they've been putting a lot of work into Cash. This is that kind of that blindside punch that could actually work out for MSL here, where they put a lot of work into Cash. So
I feel like what we're seeing really is that once you're sort of getting used to Danish Counter-Strike as a drug, you can't just wean up.
The withdrawal mode is the hell out of this, I'm telling you.
Well, sweet Jesus.
Let's go watch the major VODs after this.
There is... There's a majority of us going for North. Casuals is our first map, and I'm sure everyone here is saying that it's going to be a coin toss, so I'll let you guys witness it live in the MGM Grand Garden Arena.
Thank you very much, Alex. And yes, this is the last semi-finals here, DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. Already in the grand finals is Virtus Pro taking out Astralis, and in just a terrific fashion. So we'll see. We've got 5 Danish players left and 5 Brazilian players left, and we'll see if they can make it all the way. It's going to get really exciting. I love the map picks. I think obviously some part of me did want Inferno to be in this semi-final, but still, it's going to be fun.
Well, the vast majority are going with SK, as if you can, take a look at Twitter there. So I mean, Twitter, social media, all that jazz. Be sure to vote, get involved. Right. Still thinking North. Only because we can't have both Danish rosters make the top 8 and then not have one of them in the finals.
Can't we?
Both of them are too good. I mean, we can, obviously. It's possible. Improbable, possible. But I think that North stand a very good chance here versus SK. This isn't. This is still a shaky SK who are still trying to figure out how to fully incorporate Phelps. Yesterday, Fur was their life support. You could hear him beeping away and getting frags. So, I mean, unless there's some kind of mental game breakdown that happens for North, I think that they can definitely run SK out.
Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, I think the thing that can sort of skew your vision in this particular context from that quarterfinals against Na'Vi yesterday with SK is that Na'Vi did play, I think, quite a bit better than they really should have. Yes. I actually think SK was looking really, really good. So I would say this is going to be a very close game. And I think Moses is right. This might even sort of be a closer series than the last one was. I mean, obviously, who could have seen Nuke and Train coming? But even then, I still think this has potential to be a very, very cool game. We're going to be starting off on Cash, obviously. They did already do the knife, and SK will be starting on CT side, North on the terrorist side. And we're just ready and waiting for them to, all type ready, get in the server and get up and running here. Cash, such an interesting game to be played. Not a map that we've seen very much in this tournament at all.
It's fun because you have had teams in the past who have just said, you know what, we're not playing one map. We are perma-banning this map. And Na'Vi, I guess legendarily, right? When Nuke was still in the rotation, wouldn't touch Nuke with a 10-yard pole. Cash, same thing. They just did not want to play it. MSL has said himself in the past, hate Cash. But over the past several months, he has admitted that they need to get better at more maps in the pool. They need to deepen the map pool, especially considering certain maps are getting taken out. Dust 2 for Inferno, for example. So, I mean, the fact that they have come ahead, that they have gone ahead and put the work in necessary to become a threat on this map, North, tells you a lot. It's a matter of whether or not they're going to be able to catch SK off guard with anything here going into this map. Countdown has begun to get into the pistol to start things off here in the first map of our second semi-final here at DreamHack. And this is it. SK on the CT side, North on the T side, and a lot of utility getting picked up already for North here.
I hope you guys are ready. The last semi-final coming up. Cash in first. It's DreamHack Masters Las Vegas. SK versus North. Get your friends in. Get everybody involved. The winner is going to be playing Virtus Pro at the grand finals. That will also be today. So you've got no excuse to go anywhere. And look at this madness from the Brazilian side already. Double counter boost from the CT side in the middle. This can absolutely catch the Danish team off guard. What a powerful way to get started. They're going to wrap around right into MSL. He is gone, and now the rest of the push coming out of the squeak. Dolmek is getting a refrag, and actually a double headshot for him, but there's still a man down.
Still a man lurking in mid, though. That's Config. New roll for him, and it's not going to work. Fallen assassinates him, and it's going to be AZ now in a 1v3. The new join for the roster, the young Danish star. But this is a tough ask for anybody, especially since he has the Glock long range. SK Gaming obviously looking to abuse that. Fallen's going to fall back as far as possible. He can have the one-shot headshot. It's not going to happen for AZ. AZ with the pre-fire. Nice attempt. Timing doesn't work out for him in the end, and he's just getting, poked down. He's down to 85 HP.
He's trying to make his way out, but now that he's been tagged up so much, if it wasn't already going to be difficult, it's impossible now. Cold will get the kill. SK playing that 1v3 very well. Really not giving him any outs at all. That's just what a risk to take going for that double boost, but it worked so perfectly.
Especially because nobody was anywhere else on the map for North. They had no idea. It was the full commit to the A site. And so SK, wow, SK, full UMPs.
And full deagles on the other side on North. So
For once, it's all 5 Deags.
No one deciding to be special and try and pick up anything else. Yeah, Cash, Deagles, it can work just fine. Maybe not as impressive as on some other maps. There's a bigger chance you're going to end up being pretty close and just sort of spamming away with it. Nice Molotov and the UMP follow-up there. Impossible for anyone to help Config out.
Great aggression there from Fallen. I really like this a lot. Do not allow North to get comfortable. You're putting North on notice right now, putting them on blast, saying, we're going to go for aggressive double boost. We're going to challenge you across the map on CT. We aren't going to let you just get comfortable and get map control and just set up for whatever strat MSL has in mind. So Cajun gets a nice headshot at least. Drops Taco in mid. Still SK in control of the situation. Deagle's not exactly the best running guns kind of pistols.
Get tricky. They've got a lot of players on this team, though, on the north side that can have a big impact with it. Because Phelps is so far outside of the B-bomb site right now, they've got a really good idea of what's happening on the map SK. So it's that one position is helping out. Wallbang attempts are coming in, but it really won't work out. Some damage being put into Fallen and Fur, but at the end, it's Fur with a quad kill, and SK Gaming managed to survive, only losing Taco, so that's absolutely perfect.
Well, there's Cold or Fallen's AWP. Fur's got that in the bank. So he doesn't have anything to worry about now. And everybody else still holding onto the UMPs, still looking to farm money. Fur even going to buy another UMP. So they just go right back up to UMPs again. No problem at all here for the Brazilians.
We saw it against Na'Vi. Even when SK had money, they still bought UMPs, or Phelps did at least. So maybe that's just the flavor here. Taco, grenade coming in. They don't have armor. It's going to be just a slaughter. 2 of them with grenade kills. Could have easily been more if they'd all stacked up a bit more. So SK Gaming only losing 1 player in the last 2 rounds. Their money's looking great. But North on the other side, they've got the armor, they've got the Molotovs and the AKs. Let's see what they can do.
This is where I'm not a huge fan of the play. Where you have the 5 UMPs. Okay, yes, UMPs are good. But when it comes to long-range fights, the AK will win out against the UMP. You don't even have an AWP when you have the money to go for the buy. This is taking like the G2 Envy strat just a step further.
Config, he's got his aim right there. And there's the kill. We didn't quite see it, but eventually Cold Zero got taken down on that side of the map. So 1 of the UMP is already gone. Maybe SK are just trying to send a signal to Valve saying, hey, we really need a slight change to this gun. I don't even think it's going to be a big one, but...
what was it? 2 days ago, I think Peter tweeted that like 8% of the kills so far in the tournament throughout the group stage had been made with the UMP.
Oh, there's the boost again. Phelps, got to be very careful. I think he got spotted then. So this position is no longer all that safe. And look how great it is. They Molotov behind him. They actually think he's already fallen back down into that corner. They're going to boost right up in his face. And UMP comes out on top, but MSL with the refrag, definitely not bad. 55 seconds here and there. Got the mid control. They've got the bomb in there as well. And on the B bomb side, decided, like, all alone right now is Fallen. 1 UMP, the last flashbang is out. I don't think he can hold this bomb site with just this little equipment. The spray not quite connecting. Actually, he gets the 1 kill in, and Cajun almost lined up for a double.
Again, what would have happened had he had an M4 there and a spray pattern that he's perhaps a little bit more familiar with, a little bit more comfortable with? Still, the flash is there. North take advantage of that to get the default bomb plant. But still, the man advantage for North. This heavily favors them. They're going to spot the man out in vents, and that is Taco getting caught by Config. Headshot there. Fur in CT. Now, the best case scenario for him is to get a kill on one of these low HP targets and maybe make away with an AK. If he can find AZ early, that would be huge.
He's waiting. He really wants them to come and peek, but it's going to be towards main instead. They should know. They didn't spot it. AZ, he goes down. Fur will eventually get taken care of. So 3-1 as a scoreline. But again, the money because of all those UMP kills. I mean, Fur had over 10,000 starting in the 5th round here.
But again, I mean, yeah, but look at all of their money spent. Full buy. But really, double AWP, all the fixings, all the kits, the helmets, full nades, everything. But that is their bank taking a massive slap. 4,500 left on Fur. He was above 10,000 at the beginning of the round. But the rest of the team now, this is a big opportunity for North. If they can win this round, they're going to put SK Gaming on the back foot very early. And already, SK really running through a whole variety of strats. As far as the setup is concerned, going for the boost right out the gates.
Yeah, they had this boost in the last round, but didn't really manage to get it working because the attack never showed up on that side of the map. A lot of damage into Config, and they almost chased him down with a grenade. A bit uncomfortable for him on that side of the map.
Yeah, and MSL getting peppered a little bit as well. But Cold, it will find the shot. And there you go. That double AWP setup for SK Gaming. This is one of the power plays that they can go for, basically. You get those ops on the extremities, although Fallen is at Sugar Cube in mid. Looking to see if that's going to be the mid control play again from them. But between Cold and Fallen, two terrifying operas that you have to go up against.
Well, look at this strategy coming out here from North. They smoked up the middle, which almost always means you're going to go vent. And actually, look at SK, they're falling back into both sides. I'm not sure I'm loving this. There's only one Molotov, and that's on AC, but if you can get it down right, both Phelps and Cold Zero in this bomb site are going to have a hard time staying where they are. He's not really putting it in yet. They're just going to try and see if they can run through, so almost no setup here for North. Right on the bomb side, the grenade landing on both, but Phelps can look under the smoke, and he gets the kill on AC. Magus goes down. Finally, they get Cold Zero and Phelps next in line. The rotation, they're right outside, but the bomb is dropped here with 20 seconds. They need to pick that up and get a quick plant.
Absolutely, but Cajun is in position to support his teammate right now. If they try and push through CTU or upper, Cajun will be able to watch out for MSL, and MSL even going to be able to get the bomb plant for Cajun. So the Cajun is the linchpin. If he stays alive, he hears the man in vents. Fur already on the site, though, trying to pressure MSL, but Cajun in the meantime is taking down Taco, so it's a 1v2. Fallen can't get the angle, though, and he's already going to get it lined up. Great timing there from Fallen to follow up on the Incendiary, the one spot that Cajun would be able to peek from, and once you have that AWP in play. So it looks like SK Gaming will survive 4-1.
They were critical. The fact that Fur has that Molotov still at the end means they know which side Cajun is going to be peeking on. It's not even a question. They just absolutely know he's going to be coming in from that side. So just the power of having a bit of utility left. And what a great comeback here for SK right away. And as you said, they spent their whole bank in that last round. Now they have the double AWP set up, and North, they have next to nothing.
They have everything, though, Anders, a dream. B-Rush, can you hear it on the wind? The YOLO.
They could make this work. Cold Zero, oh, that shot right away, following up on Cajun, and then Phelps coming in. Cold's gonna finally miss the kill, and MSL, in fact, to pick up 2 with the Tech 9. So a bit expensive for SK.
Actually, yeah. This got a bit out of hand. Definitely expected the man in vents to do a little bit more there to support Cold. Now MSL has the AWP. Going to hear Fallen stepping down into checkered as well, although Fallen is kind of hanging around in snacks. He's gonna get caught by AZ. 2 guns now. MSL with Kevlar, and the angle on Fur coming through vents. What they might not expect, however, is Taco working his way through B halls. This could get awkward for MSL, especially because he has the bomb. He has to get to the site somehow.
Smoke. Oh, is he trying to trick them? I think he is. Taco's ready and waiting, and that does drop the bomb. AZ now going to be sneaking in, and he gets shot from the vent there. There's one little detail that could have made that a very different fight if Fur had lost patience and gone into the peak of the vent. Because there was a corpse of a teammate lying at the edge of that, it could have very well been that MSL had a much better angle and that Fur would have seen sort of the feet of the corpse and he wouldn't even be able to do anything there. But 5-1, dangerous situation, but they managed to adjust just fine. So strong start for SK.
Another chance though, and this time Cajun has that op. Careful. He's like holding back because in case an HE follows up and he has no Kevlar, he could just wind up eating nothing but shrapnel and only going down to 20 HP. So he has to be very careful about his positioning here, Cajun, which somewhat limits North. You want to build around that op.
Maggie's goes down. AZ next. Pretty aggressive setup over at main here. Now North again. 2 men down. Nothing that SK need to do. Just relax. I like the aggression they have early on the CT side here.
Why not? Cajun will find Fur. That was Fur peeking for info in short. Still a man advantage for SK Gaming. 2 on A, 2 on B. It looks like it's just going to be the sacrifice of mid, especially with Phelps setting up a trap in checkered. So if they do rotate towards B.
Well, yeah, and here's the issue, right? MSL is all the way on the other side with the 1 Molotov. They would have to check that corner, so there's no way they could do this. Cold already waiting. There is a jump in, and he actually does get legged. But again, the backup plan here is Phelps, and so far no one can really do anything about that. They are actually starting to gravitate back towards the A side of the map. MSL, does he feel like he hasn't heard anything on this side for long enough that maybe they could go for it? Fallen and Taco are still there.
I love Fallen's positioning, though. Now that Taco's there to back him up on the site, Taco just has to worry about short and squeak. But Cajun, again, back-to-back shots hit for him, and this time Fallen will fall. It's Taco, Cold, and Phelps. Phelps a mile away, but Taco's there to be the hero. 1-for-1 trade.
10 seconds. They need that bomb plant. They can't really delay it. Config puts up the smoke, gonna walk right into the site, and now they're right on him already. He tries to escape in the back. They're already putting shots through, but there's the flash coming out. Config making his way in, gets the headshot on one. Phelps behind him. Config needs to do this. The headshot comes in. The 1-on-2 for Config. He clutches it. And that is a huge round for North that they really needed. He was completely trapped. This is crazy. I think almost every other player would have gone back and tried to hide behind the box there.
He doesn't care. Once he's stuck there, boom, just decides to take the fight. I mean, what blows my mind is the fact that both SK Gaming players got caught by that flash. Perfect use of the smoke there to hide that grenade coming in. And sometimes the small sounds like that can get lost when playing in LAN because not only do they have the soundproof headsets, yes, but they're blasting white noise into them as well.
Yeah, it is slightly more difficult to play on LAN. You're right. There are some environmental differences that you can't really account for, but the early shot from Phelps to take down Config. By the way, twice in that last round, the combination worked where Config jumped for Cajun and Cajun took the shot. It worked in B as well because they legged up coldzera, so it's pretty cool that that they can make that work. Nice tool.
This is the risk you run with running double AWP, however. SK Gaming, 1 round lost, boom, back to Eco. Well, back to Eco. They finally succeed in getting SK Gaming to Eco here north. Fallen, 1D. Oh, thought for a second he would hit the second one there. That was sick. Cajun B, though, will be able to keep his cool and trade the kill, but still, a man advantage again here for SK Gaming.
They know that coldzera has already fallen back from checkered, so they probably feel like they don't have to worry so much about that. And if they're both on the bomb site, with the grenades they have here north, I don't blame them for wanting to go B, but the timing works out just as they decide to do that. Phelps comes in through the vent. Actually, coldzera standing right on the fire, and he almost goes down. Eventually, Will to AZ, and Phelps is next in line. AZ doing great work here with the UMP makers, following up on Taco, and Fur, the last one left. Man, obviously, it's not that coldzera didn't realize he was on fire. He was hoping to get the 1D as they come in.
Exactly, just not expecting them to take their sweet time. Trying to go for the push instead. North, it works out. Fur, he can save the AK. He's hoping to get 1 kill to force North to drop a gun in the next round. But it's not going to happen. Time to back off. He's going to hold on to the AK. Better, much better to get away with the loot than anything.
Yeah, and he's playing, again, out of his mind. I mean, in the quarterfinals, Fur was such a beast, and he's 11-3 here.
It's Mirage, right? That Mirage map versus Na'Vi was nuts. It was Fur, and then 10 frags behind him was the runner-up. I think that was Cold, so it was definitely the Fur show. And if he can continue, this is what's going to buy enough time for SK Gaming to get back into it.
9th round coming up. The fact that North have managed to put together some of these rounds and that the SK economy very shaky. They could buy 1 more M4 or something. It's definitely just go for the halfway. Get some more armor maybe. Yeah, I'm glad that Taco's also picking some up.
Why not? More slow and steady pace perhaps here. Cajun with the angle. Gets the shot easy as you please on Fallen. Can get the follow-up as well. Not gonna hit the flick, but the chance was there. Nice shot though from Taco. Instant dink on Cajun. That's gonna force him back. Fur playing solo on A right now with that AK. And once again, SK Gaming find themselves in a position where they're giving up mid control to focus on the B sites. On the both sites, rather. A and B. 2 players on each here for SK Gaming. North with the man advantage, and it looks like they're just going to be very straightforward with this. Close in on the A site together as a unit.
You wish more than anything that Taco had a flashbang to help out Fur, because once they all come around the corner here, if he just sort of tries to stay by the forklift, they should be able to overwhelm him. Grenades are coming in, and Fur actually getting a great headshot. Did a lot of damage. There's the follow-up, taking down MSL. Now he's going to start to fall back. Taco helping out, taking 1 down. Fur with another headshot. He's going to go for it again. A triple kill for Fur. Unbelievable. Now Config, no chance at all here. 1 on 3, and they've got him boxed in.
3 HP. Needs to get the tap, and he will. Did he spot Taco? I don't think so. But he realizes now that there's been enough time gone by for coldzera to go for the flank. 35 seconds left. Trying to bait some kind of response, but Taco just randomly. Timing works out perfectly for him. Through the smoke, and an eco round win here for SK.
It's very curious that they didn't do a better job in that round of getting rid of this position for Fur, because they had the grenades to do that. I think they were just a bit too overzealous. You see, if they'd put the Molotov in before he got the 2 kills then, it would have been a slightly different situation. So Just, I think, mistiming there. And North actually going to keep up the aggression nonetheless. And not like a bad call. SK have almost no economy here. If they can get the B rush working or just generally get the pressure on the B bomb side here, could be interesting.
Still looking for, hoping to take advantage of a lack of nades perhaps, but SK, 3 incendiaries still in play here for them. Phelps will be forced back, debating Snack's corner or not, but it looks like he's going to back off to the site. Doubling up on the defense there. He has Cold watching checkered. And let's say the Flash, he's protected from it, and this time Cold, it pays off for him to roast. 36 HP he survives with, but he gets the key kill. It's going to slow things down here for North.
Backup is coming in as well. There's Fur coming up with another 2 big kills, and the spray is in. Phelps taking down Config. And 7-3. They looked like they were about to have that working for North, but they were slowed down just enough that the rest of SK showed up in time to help defend. And oh my god, Fur 16-4 right now. Look at this.
Yeah. Go for the crab walk spray. Why not? Through the smoke and no reply. 7-3 and an eco here for North. This is starting to get a little scary, a little uncomfortable for North. Because you're starting to get to the point where you want this half to end 8-7, 9-6 at the outside. But SK Gaming have got a great chance right now to just lay waste. Phelps, speaking of, gets 2 kills. And Taco with the other 3. Nice anti-ego frags here. But more importantly, an 8th round on the board, and SK Gaming just flawless work here so far.
They're doing a very good job. North with the money to buy once again. At that mid-round, they got nearly nothing out of it. A bit of damage, I think, into maybe Phelps, but 12th round is coming up here, and there have been some things that have worked for the North side. And are they going to go for the boot? No, not this time. Fur, just waiting on the other side with Taco. You can sometimes try and flash yourself into main and just catch the T's off guard, but again, actually, they are finally a bit late in the round, going to go for the boost, trying to play at the edge of that smoke, and that's something that's become very common. Config doesn't get the kill on Phelps. It looked like he had the chance.
He had the read, but he wasn't able to connect. Back into a 4-on-4 now. But that was key for Config still, to be able to pick up the 1 kill on Cold. That does weaken the defense. And again, SK Gaming, this time they're treating it differently though, because Fallen has that AWP, so he was hanging around in Link just a little bit longer there. But now they've lost the info on mid. And so are they going to go back to what has worked so far? 2 players on each site. Or will Fallen actually call for a cheat? As they put 3-on-1 and see if they're going to actually just commit to that 1 bomb site. Right now it's looking like North want to head towards A.
The only one currently holding boosted up there is Taco. 40 seconds left to make it quite far into middle, so it makes sense for them to play around this position, because if they go out main into the A-bomb site, Magus can hear if anyone is running middle, so they should have a pretty good read. The question is if they can get through the crossfire here and remember to check the box. They should know by now that someone's going to be up there.
Have they seen it yet? I don't think so. Taco, I don't think, this is why they keep using it, is because they haven't even been found out yet. No, he misses the chance. Now the game is up. Can he win the duel? No, Magus can time to save his teammate. There's the headshot. Man advantage now for North pushing onto the site, and nobody there to stop them on the site itself. It's Fallen creeping along.
Yeah, I'm going to say, good thing that Magus goes back in middle. I'm not sure why he wanted to go and fight at the truck. That didn't really make any sense, because he's got the whole team on the other side. SK need a really swift kill here, and as soon as Phelps goes down, the rest should just try and back off. There's no reason why anyone from North would go and fight this. Fur and Fallen just going to try and creep their way out, but finally a round that works out here for the Danish side.
So watching Magus' aim is like watching somebody with an LG in Quake or something like that, right? He's just got this tracking ability. You can just see the bullets just staying stuck on his target as the target moves. That's unreal.
He's very good. We've seen some of the craziest sprays from him, I think, so far in the tournament. Fur will live through the round with the AK. Make the scoreline 8-4. There's plenty of money on the SK side still. Again, 10,000, I think, at the beginning of the round here for a couple of players, so they're going to be fine. The North need to continue. I do think sort of five or six rounds here in the first half could be just fine, but SK could close this one out pretty quick as well.
Yeah, it's cutting it close. Like you need, I think you really do need to get at least a 6 to feel halfway decent. Fallen with the duel, gonna miss the shot. Magus has got the angle now. Does Fallen go for the repeak? Oh, I know, they're gonna change it up. Fallen thinks he's peeking into an AK, but no, Cajun's gonna be there with the AWP.
And there it is.
Nicely done. Good trade there by North.
Fallen for Config. Still, Config, one of the key players and also pretty high on the scoreboard for the North team. Cajun did see that. Smoking him off. And this Phelps going to respect it. It is so dangerous to flash yourself into middle, but he might just be tempted to do it anyway. Still got a couple of seconds left on this smoke. There's a nice pick on Taco. And Phelps on the other side, he can't do anything. He doesn't realize that it's just Cajun there. For all he knows, there's another 3 people waiting on the other side. He's flashed for the moment. Oh, that's close.
Where would that flash come from? Was that a flash from mid, from behind boost box? It looks like it because that was impeccable timing.
Yeah.
Phelps had Cajun dead to rights.
And again, they go for this B push with MSL lurking over by the squeak door. It does kind of necessitate that they actually get into B, which the last couple of rounds they haven't. Spray comes in, and I think AZ just managed to save Cajun now. Trying to rotate in towards CT. Spawn is called Zero, but 1 versus 4, and already boxed in, Molotov'd out. Trying to take the fight with MSL, and he's going to win that much. But it's going to be a 5th round for North here. Cold Zero just doesn't have the tools, no kit either to try and go for the retake.
And keeping the dream alive.
Ooh. That was scary. That's going to take a big hit to the SK economy. Fur's got 6,000, but he's the only one who could maybe drop something for a teammate. So here at the upcoming 14th round, things are starting to get a bit tricky for the Brazilian side. And again, I think North are going to be fairly well prepared for playing CT side, and curious how SK are going to deal with their T side.
If it's going to be the brute force approach or not. I mean, it feels like we got a little spoiled with that so far. In the first semifinal between Virtus.pro and Astralis, there was a lot of very aggressive pistol rounds. Very few of them played out slowly. It was just, you know, actually, we're going to rush B. We're just going to rush B. Don't stop. So, I mean, we'll see. We're not quite there yet here in this game. 8-5, 2 rounds left in this half, and it's SK Gaming going back to their trusty UMPs so they can afford the grenades. I like to see this focus on utility here from SK Gaming. Make use of the nades and go for more aggression. Fallen, Fur, and Phelps pushing to top mid already.
Quick trade there, but now Fallen in a very tricky position. Cajun gets a kill. Config to follow up. I don't think they were ready for that quick of a boost coming in from the T side. And Taco and Cold, 2 on 4 at the moment. And they are just slowing it, grinding it down to a halt, in fact, here North. Why would they do anything else? The 2-man lead, as soon as they figure out where one person is, they can very easily shift the focus to the other side of the map.
And just move together as a unit. Group up, get 4 together, and just run right onto a site. Don't overthink things. Taco's got the AWP. He's going to spot the man pushing. Hits the shot. Nicely done. Config a little bit further out than his teammates, and nobody's there to reply.
Yeah, but they're shifting back to B. That makes so much sense. Cold Zero, 1-on-3 in this situation, trapped in the corner. It's very unlikely he can get out of this, but they're not checking it just yet. He's going to come around the corner, picks up 1, Taco's down, Cold goes for the spray. He gets another one, and can he get the last one in? 12 bullets left. Cajun on the other side, Cold! 1 versus 3. He picks up every single kill. A triple on him, and SK Gaming. What a steal that was. 9-5 here. I think North had the perfect idea. You know where the AWP is. Why not? At most, there's going to be Cold on this side. And he was even trapped in that corner.
This is why you got to love CS, man. Because, right? Your first thought is, oh, but avoid the op. The other thought is, though, do you want to go against the M4 that can spray when, if you run in as a unit versus an op, he's not going to kill all of you if you move together as a death ball. That's where I'm wondering, like, I don't know, you find Taco? Why aren't you just running them down as a group?
Yeah, but the one thing that North didn't know is it could have been that Cold Zero would also have been an A, right? So they would have run into the double stack. What they definitely know when they see Taco is there's only going to be one person on the other bomb side. So I think the math is pretty good for North in that sense. Just forgot that small detail that Cold Zero is an absolute beast.
There is that. Just the spacing not quite right for North. And so they might find themselves in a situation where it will finish 9-6, or we'll have SK Gaming going double digits. They have the double AWP, and look at this, Cajun! Just plummets on Phelps. Wipes him out, and now Cajun's got an AWP to play with still. He had it before, but this is the man advantage once again for North.
Fallen revealing that he's got that AWP. They could probably guess he's rotating truck if they start to make noise on that side. Are they going to try and jump for each other again? Cold here will actually fall back before that even happens, and he's about to get shot in the back. He makes it back around the box somehow, and he picks up the kill on AZ. Goes for the repeat, a bit of a leg shot into MSL. Finally takes him down. Eventually, they manage to overrun him, but Cold Sierra not giving up without a fight. Fur and Fallen on left here. 2-on-3, and it's the 15th round, so there is no saving or anything else like that. It'd be a pretty miraculous retake if they can make this work. Just given the positional play here for North, they're in a really strong situation. Fur, oh, the timing, he looks away just as Magus comes walking through, and KGM's got him boxed on the other side. Fur, I don't think he can make it out. Fallen has gone down, and Fur comes charging in with the UMP, but again, right behind him is Magus. He's looking all over the place, but time is nearly up here, so probably will be a 6th round, and there will be Magus picking it up. 9-6 though, favoring SK Gaming. I think North should count their lucky stars that they got this amount of rounds.
This has actually been a dead even match. Heroics on both sides, Config with his key 1v2 win, and then we just saw Cold here single-handedly winning. I mean, both teams have had key clutches as well as just, you know, very one-sided rounds where it's either a shutout defense or they just run over a site. This is very close. By all means, it is not decided yet. North win the pistol in the CT side, and we could be looking at a 9-9 situation with the pressure shifting back to SK. So SK Gaming taking their time here to discuss how they want to approach things in this second half. The rush fairly common, just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they haven't been working out as well as I would like, and on this map as well, you could do it, but so many teams expect it now, and if even one guy on that B bomb side buys an HE grenade, you are just going to be in a lot of trouble.
Shredded. Well, let's see. Glad to see. I mean, there was just a little bit of a situation there with North where the spacing wasn't quite right. Didn't look like they were very comfortable. Now going into the CT side, though, things should improve. Magus going to be solo on A. Retake A sort of situation, although they don't have a kit picked up at all. It's just Kevlar here for North, looking for a fight very early on.
And definitely going to be an execute for SK, given the amount of utility. I like the sneak into middle, though. That's very interesting. AZ still waiting. The bomb is going to run right in front of him. Oh, Fallen. How does he know? Cold Sierra's taking a bit of damage, but AZ, can he get the timing down right? If he sneaks over a B, oh, he's going to get spotted. He actually does land a shot anyway. The nearly brings down Cold Sierra. Could have been worse for AZ, I suppose, but there's no retreat at that point in time. Immediately goes down. Smoke is up for the middle. So a lot of map control here for the SK side. And now you can see North are thinking it might just be a B push here. Since they got the mid control and they had Cold outside of B, not unreasonable to assume that'd be the case, but they would be wrong.
This is shaping up to be the split onto A. If Magus could just find a headshot, he found 2 in the pistol on the T side. Now on the CT side, now that you have the superior firepower in the USP, you need to get the job done, but he's just not connecting. Couple of opportunities now for him to turn the tide. There we go, clean one. Could he get the second? No, Cold is there to shut him down, but MSL pounces, and we're somehow into a 3-on-2. SK with the man advantage and the bomb plant.
About to get it, and that's a nice peek. Taking down MSL. Fur once again, because why not? He's got the triple kill. Config trying to move in. They're going to counter 3 and all go. There's just too many targets, and it's Fur with a quad kill. Again in the pistol round. He's unbelievable. 22 kills for Fur and just 7 deaths.
And you're right, he had a quad kill on the T-side pistol as well, didn't he, Fur?
So good.
This is just the Fur show so far in the quarterfinals and the semifinals here. And right back to UMPs as well for SK Gaming, looking to farm, looking to make money. And North, one of those teams that is willing to back off on the Kevlar in the second round bye. So we have Deagles once again, Cajun B. The only reason he's not, following along with his teammates is he's trying to save that AWP early on. Magus not going to have any luck with his aggression in A halls, but MSL is here, full flashed, has to back off. He had a chance, but...
Yeah, if not for the flashbang, this would obviously be a very annoying angle for Cold Sierra to have to deal with. But no armor, so if SK keep playing it slowly and just make sure they more or less group up and don't allow for anyone to get a lot of 1v1 duels, this should be just fine. They got all the grenades to deal with any position in this A-bomb site. Both Cajun and AZ should be easy to take down, and especially if they look at the wrong way. That's a nice shot from AZ.
For a second there, I thought that he was going to get the second one as well. That would have been not the end of the world, especially because Cold has been spotted, but he's going to get closed in on MSL to find a kill. Phelps making sure that the flank can't come through from T side, is going to look for the shot, and eventually we'll find it. Fur and Phelps, the remaining 2 kills, and another successful plant here and round for SK.
I mean, this was an Antica, but it's still another quad kill for Fur that leaves him at 26 in 17 rounds. So he's working on a record of his own. If he can keep going at this rate, it'd be interesting to see if we go all 30 maps. Probably clock way past the 30 mark, obviously. And another round where they could play pretty safely again. They've got the UMPs, they've even got the Mac 10 there on Cold Zero. No reason not just to let the SMGs lead. Fallen, trying to see if they can run him down. Is he going to be back up in the middle? Just up on the boost here, but Fallen somehow lives.
That last bullet, the last bullet in the mag, and he gets the headshot and survives. Okay, then Fallen. Still, I do kind of respect North for that, though. You know what? It's a hard eco, boys. Let's go. Let's just run at him, get it over with. We want rifles. We've been saving our money. We know it's going to be a good buy. Although, they can't possibly skimp. No kit. Cajun still has 450. Why is he not buying a kit? That's one of the things that can come back to haunt you. You're going for helmets as well when you know you're... Well, I mean, against UMPs, I guess that's fair, but still.
Oh, Magus flashed in. Fur, you could see his hand was still in front of his face, and he still picks up the headshot. At least AC will get that, but he's got to be very careful. If he tries to fall back from Squeak there, he could get shot down. Instead, it's Fallen who held on to the Mac 10. Going to be able to take him down. Now Cajun, all of the grenades raining in. But they do have the flank coming in. Config through the smoke sprays. One, the quick double there as Phelps falls. He's also controlling the bomb. That might be the winning move here for North, and they desperately need it. Taco gonna crouch in and get the shot on Cajun. And somehow it's a 2-on-2 still. Cold Zero going down to MSL. And now Taco, can he... Oh, he lands that shot through the smoke, taking down MSL. And Config has managed to move all the way around. Can Taco really read this?
Never underestimate Taco. He's come through in the clutch so many times for SK Gaming. He could do it again, but he has no idea that, unfortunately for him, Config, that's just one step ahead. Taco expecting him in T-spawn, but Config taking the fight to him. And luckily for them, North, with their first buy round, it comes down to a 1v1, but they get the win.
That was very smart play from Config. The boost over is great and all, but after that double, walking back into Squeak, definitely a good idea. But yeah, even after that win, because it's a 1-on-1, they've got UMPs, and SK actually have a better buy losing that round. Could turn into a problem. A very common boost here from AC, or a very common peek over the smoke. But Fur doesn't go down, just takes some damage to it. That's something that people almost always just pre-fire now when you see that smoke is further in main than it normally would be. A big indication that someone could be on the other side. Easy goes down. Taco picking up that kill. Plenty of time left here for the T side to make their way in. Bomb still in middle. Now is where North should try and see if they can go for something. Because if they just hold on the sites like they are right now, with 2 UMPs and almost... Well, we got Molotovs, but not many other grenades. Unlikely that they can win against the full execute from SK. So I'd rather they take the chance here and try and bring it back.
You need to go for the aggression, especially because right now there is an opening. MSL is waiting in B halls. A very similar approach, although they are being a little bit more risky North. Magisk rotating back to CT. Cajun is alone on A, and it's soon going to be action on A. 30 seconds left. SK, they are running this clock dangerously low. They're not going to give themselves much time to work with here. They have the Molotovs necessary to clear out angles, but Cajun and Magisk rotating back, and this is going to be the A hit coming through. Magisk and Cajun, can they hold the line? Yes, Cajun there to start, takes down Phelps.
Then they're going to get smoked off, and the grenades are going to keep running in here. 14 seconds left, and up the highway. Cold Zero coming in for the shot. Magisk, it's all on him. If he can stop the bomb from going down, they do line up. He gets 2 quick headshots. Oh my god, and Config also helping out. 4 seconds. They're going to get the plant in the last possible second here. Taco makes it back around the corner, but he takes a lot of damage for it. He's trapped, he's hunted, and he picks up the AWP. That's incredibly risky. Close line, missing the shot, and that's over. Config gonna be able to pick that one up, make it 8 rounds for North. That was a close round for both teams. If not for Magisk, SK have that round won.
Again, we have the clutches coming through here. This time it's North coming out ahead, and Magisk What a hero. Nearly gets the 3, but perfect control from him means that North, 8 rounds on the board now. SK Gaming still with the money to go for the buy. Fur is going to have to cheap a little bit and go for the UMP. 27 kills on Fur, though.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And again,
AZ, though. AZ, I mean, AZ has been very solid so far for North. But this is a rough map for him. Low single digit for him.
What makes it even more awe-inspiring is that it's not just sort of a freak occurrence that Fur is playing well. He did it all day yesterday too. This is his level at this tournament. Just imagine that. I would love to see the full stats once the whole tournament is over, just for Fur. It'd be very interesting to see just how well he's been playing. 21st round here. The scoreline is 12-8. North is still quite far behind, and SK just need one good entry, and they're ready to collapse onto this B bomb side. MSL might just give them that. He walks right into Taco and gets shot in the face. That leaves Config alone on the bomb side, but actually SK not even going to follow behind it. That's surprising.
Could it be the final switch here? SK Gaming, they do have Taco still waiting around in B halls. They have control of vents now as well. They haven't really gone B yet. This could be the moment to shift it up. But again, North willing to go for the retake on A. They've left a man solo over there. That's Magisk holding on his own. AZ is slowly working back over there, but he could rotate quickly over here to support the B defense.
Here's the big difference from this and the last round, is that SK have no more Molotovs to burn out all the corners. So actually, even though they have the man lead, they might be in a slightly worse position than they were the last time around. Magisk goes for a quick peek. There's the defensive grenades coming out from North. And again, 20 seconds on the clock. SK, what's going on? Phelps goes down. Magisk sprays while the ADADs. Cold Zero's down and out. AC, he's dropped, but Magisk comes running through, puts his gun right in first base. And now Taco, 8 seconds. He can't even run and pick up the bomb. North, they do it one more time. Magisk with the triple. After losing the initial battle, Taco is at least going to take Config with him. But that's pretty concerning for SK. There's 2 rounds where they just don't have the time to win.
This has been something of a tendency in the past from SK Gaming. We've seen it more on Mirage, but they are a team sometimes that will just only hit one site and just very rarely change it and go to another one. The reason why he charges through the smoke there is he hears the reload sound.
He was close enough to kiss Fur in that smoke, just right in each other's face. Tech9s and the 1 AK here. SK Gaming, they can't let go of this lead.
Here, have that HE. Fur down to half HP already, hasn't even seen anybody. Phelps at 86. But what does this change? There were three players from SK over to B halls very early on, but the bomb still stays A. And so they're waiting to see if there's going to be any aggression from North on B. And MSL clearly thinks that this is going to be a B hit. How do you stack this defense over there?
Config burned the life to the Molotov. I'm not even sure what happened there. Magisk gets a kill on Taco. Gotta stay alive back here, but it's not gonna happen. Fur. Of course, it's gotta be Fur coming in with a kill. Cajun, not quick enough to get that shot as he crosses, and looks like he wants to swap out. A bit dangerous if he gets caught doing this. What is going on? Finally, he gets his hands on the rifle. The bomb not downed yet. Another 2-on-3 here. Should favor SK this time, even if they're a bit low on health. Oh, that Molotov, though. Is he going to catch anyone? Doesn't get the kill and not spreading quick enough to catch Fur. He's going to burn, but the bomb does at least go down. And MSL now sneaking in towards the forklift. He's got all the health in the world to do this. Fallen, the only one who can save them, but he's gone. An out headshot from MSL. Now Cold Zero in the back. Tech9 in a 1-on-2, and it's just not enough. He didn't have the health for it, and North win another clutch here. 2 versus 3. That Molotov, I wasn't sure if it was quite going to catch Fur, but it did.
All these guys are doing is just a repeated hit. 10 rounds on the board now for North, 12. And MSL, you can see MSL starting to second guess himself. He has, when this push comes in, he has 3 people stacked on the B site. So he's starting to think, like, when is Fallen going to hit the other site? When are they finally going to start rotating B?
The scoreboard right now for SK is so ridiculous. The top fraggers in Cold Zero and Fur got 30 and 20 kills, so 50 kills between those 2 players and 19 on Taco. You feel like they should be winning this map right now, but somehow it's 12-10, and the money's not looking good. Config with the refrag on Phelps. Did sneak in the 1 headshot there on Cajun before he went down.
You do have to be pretty impressed, though, with their ability to retake on A right now. This is just making it so easy for North, in a sense, obviously. It's still pretty tough to get the retake going. But the fact that they can cheat over to B and still have confidence in their ability to come back onto A if SK are repeatedly going to keep hitting A site. The boost is in place this time around. AZ is here to back his teammate up as well.
Here's what really worries me from SK's point of view is that Config's actually playing very well on the CT side, which we don't always see, but definitely he's ready for cash here. And Magus with the boost. He's holding a bit further out than people sometimes do, falling somehow right underneath him. What is this madness? There's the jump coming in, and Magus spraying through the box, falling in trouble, and he drops the bomb. SK now down to Taco, and can't really get out here. They know where he is as well.
I mean, he could catch the kill on Magus. Magus is low enough. It's not going to happen, though. Config, is that a wallbang?
Yeah, that was all the way over from Truck, practically. That's unbelievable.
Okay, then. Still, the comeback is on now. Although we do have the buy, we have the money for a buy, and this is the timeout getting called here by SK Gaming. So they elected to actually pause the game for 2 minutes here and have a little bit of time for discussion. And I mean, I think Fallen, the first question he's going to ask is like, is there another bomb site on this map? It's A. What comes after A, Anders?
I'm sure they know. I'm sure they have the letter B in Brazilian as well, I'm sure. They must have.
Yes. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, this is going to be the fun part here. Or do they just continue? It's like the mind game within a mind game. Are they just going to keep hitting the single one?
I feel like SK have not been struggling for mid control, which might be the most obvious reason why you wouldn't go B. If you couldn't get that, you know, you'd feel like, oh, it's too much of a choke. But they've been doing a decent job at getting mid control, so there's no tactical reason why they would try and avoid that.
In the last round, they did. And that's where they got slapped around, right? They have the anti-boost Molotov going down. They play aggro. They pick up 1 kill. And then North proceed to fall back and willingly sacrifice their hold on mid. So does it have to happen later on in the round for SK Gaming? Instead of trying to go right from the start towards mid, you just kind of let it sit for a while, and then around 50 seconds, you start working your way in?
I mean, the other option is just to go for the full Molotov execute on the B-bomb side. It worked a couple of rounds for North when they were on the T side. They managed to get the fire down on Cold Zero, and he had a hard time standing anywhere, so maybe that's the idea. They certainly do have 3 Molotovs, and that would be enough to make almost all of that B-bomb side hard to stay on. 11-12 though, North 1 round away from equalizing here. And the timeout is run out. Still, 30 kills on for 20 on Cold Zero, 21 on Config. So right now, Config's doing a hell of a lot of work on that CT side.
Between him, Magus, and Cajun. First 2 days of the tournament, it was really Cajun leading the way for North. He was doing so much work, topping the stats out for him, no problem at all. And he still sits at the top as the most effective player along with MSL, considering all 4 days. But that just shows you why why analysts, etc., are backing North in this. Right now we're seeing a level from them. They're capable of going up against SK Gaming, who thrive in these sorts of situations, deep in the playoffs.
The bomb is over by B, and they've managed to make a bit of noise. There's Phelps with a great headshot, taking down MSL. That has to be the beginning, and they're trying to speed up behind it. Config is the only one holding on this bomb site. Flick to drop. Taco gets one. Can he get the next? They've got him isolated in the corner. He's really trying, but it's just not enough here. And the bomb will go down very quickly this time. North, the retake. They do have money on at least some of the players here, but I think they need a quick kill before this even can be entertained.
Where are they going to get the incendiary? It's just same position there. That's unfortunate because Fur is going to be able to dance out to safety, no problem at all. Great commit there from Magus, but Cold is in position to trade. And so Cajun and AZ, 2-on-3 retake, and they need to make the kill happen, but it's not going to. The Terminator is there. Another headshot for Cold, making it look easy. And finally,
very well done.
How many rounds in a row was that? 5 rounds in a row for North. Before SK, by changing the sites, finally get something to go their way.
They just needed that 1 kill. And interestingly, it's a kill they've had a couple of other rounds where they managed to take down MSL, but the other rounds, they slowed down afterwards. They didn't really do anything. This time, they were quick and decisive. Now, could we see a counter boost in the middle? It seems like it. North there, going to try and make it work. And I like this because they don't have so much utility. They need to go for a risk. If they wait out, another 40 seconds here, all their grenades will be gone. So, might as well try.
That's annoying for Phelps. You have to be wondering where that flash came from, but they're going to back off and fully sacrifice Cajun. You're on your own, mate. you are the first and only line of defense here in mid. The flash from MSL, and this time it's effective. Perfectly done. Phelps will catch Cajun in the end, and the pre-fire from Cold. Headshot. There's Config, though, just charging him down. No fear at all.
Oh, and actually team kill. Phelps has to take down Fallen to even get to Config there. That was pretty aggressive from Config, and now we're in a 2-on-2, and they are sandwiched in. Magus coming in from one side. They did go for the counter boost, but the bomb is still down and checkered on Phelps, so Cold Zero, he can try and create the space here, but once they realize where Phelps is, it's going to be it, and there's the headshot from Magus, taking down Cold. So Phelps, the newest addition to this team, and he's absolutely already proven himself, but the question is, can he win 1v2? That could practically give them the map. It'd probably put them on 15 rounds if he does. Trying to make the jump up without any noise being made at all. The problem is North have that Molotov, so if he plants and tries to stay on the bomb site, how is he not just going to get Molotov'd out? Oh, and he uses the smoke, so he can't cancel the Molotov. That could actually be a really big problem, but he's going to go aggressive. Is he really going to try and cheat them, hiding under heaven?
Now, this is a problem, though. I mean, for North, because if they're split like this, it's all going to come down to timing. Multiple nades, and so Phelps, he has all the information now. He knows there's one CT, one upper, but Magus, he's throwing them for a loop. Throwing the nades upper and rotating back. They're going to double up and get that buddy system going. There's the duel, and Phelps, he played it perfect. He had the 1v1 he was looking for, and he loses the fight.
Actually very impressed by Phelps even getting into that position. I thought there was a very good chance that as soon as the bomb is down, they're on him. So as in, they're already upper and mains. He can't get out of the bomb site. Big risk for him to walk in there, but I think he sort of maximized his chance to win that 1v2. 13-12 though, and the really big problem is the reset for SK.
Mm-hmm. They'll have the hero AK on Phelps, but apart from that, it's a half buy here for SK. 2,000 across the board, so they'll buy in the next round. The goal here to get the bomb plant. So now that they've taught North to stop cheating the extra players over towards A, to stop with the A defense, what is this? AZ lands the one shot, but he's not going to get more than that. His teammate is down, and now it's all on AZ to hold the line, and another two. A third? A fourth? No, it's not going to happen. Cold eventually connects.
Unbelievable that AC stays alive. Phelps is going to get shot in the back as well. AC was flashed and looking straight into a wall while they were shooting him in the back, and he didn't take that much damage and turned around, and there's MSL picking it up. 13-13. Scoreline is tied as we move into the 27th round. And SK Gaming, man, the pressure is on right now. Look at this. They're shooting at him while this is happening, and again he gets flashed. Unbelievable.
It's all right, you can call that a panic spray. Out of your mind. Bomb will get picked up. Phelps not gonna hit the flick. That was way too close though. Cajun can breathe a sigh of relief. Didn't just get his head ripped off. Cold. Obviously looking to get aggressive over here in Brown Halls and SK Gaming, or Brown Halls, B Halls.
This is obviously looking like a B push with a bit of mid control coming in as well from Phelps, but if they can make this work. There's two people hiding on the side. Config in the corner with the UMP, and Cold Zero sneaking in from the other side. This is not exactly great. There's an easy kill. Cold Zero, a bit of a double take, I think, for him. Now MSL has to show that it's not just all memes. He's done pretty well so far. He goes for the spray and does a bit of damage. Grenade comes out, but is not going to be enough for the kill. He's just trying to buy time with all these grenades, and now the backup is here. Cajun coming in with a big double MSL sprays, dropping the bomb right at his feet, and now 2-on-3. The refract comes in from Cold Zero, and Megisk in the middle dropping Phelps. Cold, now is your time. 1-on-2. Close out this map, win this round, and bring your team back in the lead. He's sneaking in. He's got no grenades, so he has to go for default plant. Again, Semler. They've got so many grenades here. 2 Molotovs and 1 smoke for North.
It's going to be very difficult, especially because they should be able to hit this Molotov every day of the week. Cold, he should not be able to hold this angle. Don't want to deal with checkered, so the smoke goes down. And now North. This nades go sailing in. Cold, is he going to find an angle? Yes, he will. There's the headshot, the 1v1, and he wins it handily. He knows that AZ's outside as well, but it's not going to happen this time. AZ, once again, doing the damage. That's a shock.
He's at the bottom of the scoreboard, AZ, but that's a really big frag. Another 1v2, and North come out on top here.
It's just a shock to see Cold not come through in a situation like that once he has the info on where the second man is playing from.
Cajun showing up, and you got to give credit to MSL. He's got 16 kills, so once again, he's doing very well on the scoreboard. But the fact that he buys all that time, he smoked off to the right-hand side, he Molotov to the left, he got the kill on the guy carrying the bomb. He did a lot that round. That bought enough time for Cajun's double kill. 28th round is coming in here. 13-14 is the scoreline, and surely SK can get a couple of more rounds in this half. Config getting a couple of headshots before he gets taken out, but they also lose AZ. MSL and Magisk not really able to help each other out, but the weird thing is the bomb is down there in middle somewhere.
Oh, the timing. Can Taco actually make it out of here intact? Magisk is gonna go run right past. Pre-fire there, easy work for Magisk, showing no fear whatsoever, and that throws a wrench in things for SK Gaming. It looked like perhaps they were gonna play off of Taco's position on A. Now they get reset. Minute 10 left in the clock though.
They make a lot of noise getting into vent, so that means North don't have to guess so much what's going on. They can just get ready. And MSL, he should wait for backup here. I mean, trying to get the peek as someone crosses, I'm not sure. Maybe from this angle, but it's dangerous. Good Molotov in. He's going to challenge it, and Cold Zero is certainly ready for that one. A good headshot, leaving Magisk. This time, SK, they have to win this.
And they have every advantage. The smoke is clearing, and the bomb has just been planted, but they have the crossfire. No matter what, he looks left, he looks right, he's a dead man if he comes through this door, unless he uses his smoke to try and create some space to cut off one of those angles. He's hoping that he looks the wrong way. Yes, incredible! Catch is called out in the open, but he's not going to expect Fur holding that close. Fur with the one-shot headshot. It is done.
Very well played. 14-14. That ruins the North economy. In fact, they just force up anyway. They don't even care. 5 rounds so far for SK on the T side here. 2 more, and that's it. They're going to take away the first map here, the second semi-finals. Fur with a random spray through the smoke. Again, they have been going for some boost, so maybe you could try and catch someone there. In fact, they're going to boost right into the face of Phelps, who's on the other side. P250 coming in and looking for the fight. He's going to win it as well. Cajun taking down Phelps and Magisk with the kill on Taco. And SK, surely not like this.
What is going on? Not in the 29th round do you lose to Pistols and Kevlar. But you still have 3 players alive. They have great utility as well. SK, all the time in the world here. Just be patient and clear out these angles and set up to go in as a unit. That's what's going to be key. As long as they stay together so that they can refrag for each other, they should be able to come out ahead in this situation.
There's no one in middle to hear Cold drop down, so they don't have that information. Cajun and Magisk up on the A-bomb side are going to be in a very bad position when Cold gets in on highway. That's when life becomes tough. You see Fallen already putting that smoke out, makes a bit of a jump. Don't think he spotted out Magisk yet. He's somehow hiding right behind that forklift, so that's interesting. But now Cold Zero slowly getting into place, and there's the kill from highway, taking down Cajun. All on Magisk now. 30 seconds. They've already run out of time a couple of times here, SK, so gotta hope that they push before that 15-second mark. Magisk waiting close from us, not even anywhere near enough there. MSL and Config, don't think it's worth it.
Now, back off, save the guns, save the stuff, but it's not going to happen. Config trying to take that fight. MSL showing no fear whatsoever, but he's making so much noise, exactly. Cold already knows where he's coming from now. There's the info. All 3 going to peek at the same time. He'll pick up 1 kill, so there is that. But it's not going to be enough. SK Gaming, 15-14 here. Map point or overtime. And another force buy coming in here from North, spending every dime they've got.
They're certainly making them work for it, but unlike some of the previous rounds here, the last one and this one, North had just very poor equipment. And SK, they know it. They should, I mean, as soon as they realize that there's not going to be any more grenades coming out as well, they can set up for it. They're already in with the boost here. Fur checking out all of mid.
I like how thorough you are here in this sort of situation. Fur getting the incendiary down to clear out sandbags. Now it's going to be short. Does he has 1 player there to support him. That's Phelps. Where's the flash? Like, you use the Molotov to clear out sandbags. Why isn't Phelps flashing you if you're going to go for the peek on short?
A reasonable question to which we have no answer. That definitely cost them there. Could be going into overtime if SK can't find a way out of this 4v5 here. Still more than a minute, and they are going back towards that A side, tapping away really long range there, trying to take AZ down, who's hiding in the back line. But now they know that Phelps is in the middle. This grenade is going to go, I think, too far to do much damage to AZ. Should be evident right now for North that no one is going to be coming to the B bomb side just yet. Oh!
There we go.
AZ. Dirty headshot taking down Phelps and spamming through Squeak as well. Finally, they're going to get the kill on AZ back there, but I think he did enough. They still have the man lead, and once again, SK is running the clock so low. I don't know if I can handle another one of these rounds. 29 seconds. They managed to firebomb out Magus. Key falls back. Cold Zero, second kill of the round for him, but then comes Cajun jumping through. 2-on-3 with 20 seconds, and the bomb is by Forklift. Can it even get out to make the cross? Config's got the angle, but Fallen headshot to get out of that position. And now 2-on-2. MSL and Cajun versus Taco and Fallen. The bomb plant. Finally, they're going to attempt it with 8 seconds left. If MSL's run through, that's it. He's already sneaking in. Fallen can't get out of the corner, but he shoots his way out. Gets the headshot on MSL, and now it's Cajun. 1-on-2. SK, have they found the solution? Yes, they have. Taco coming in with a big kill, and that's it. SK win the first map. 16-14 against North.
Watching that is all about just not being willing to commit together as a unit. They walked in one after another. The hesitation at the finish line. Despite AZ's great work, getting multiple kills with the scouts, just doing the damage and setting up his team, giving them the win condition, it wasn't enough. They just walked in one after another.
If MSL was 2 seconds faster, he catches Fallen planting, and the round is won in that second. But
that's the difference, right? That's a lifetime in CS, yeah. Right? 2 seconds.
But even
you can't even do that.
I'm actually so impressed. But even then, it's a nightmare scenario. Anyone playing matchmaking will recognize this. You know, you put the bomb down, and right as you do it, you know they're already on you. It's really hard to get out of that corner. So Fallen's only option was the instant headshot. Otherwise, he was going to get sprayed down. So pretty good job on him.
It's been a while since we've been able to say this, it feels like, with Fallen, right? But once again, that legendary role that he fills on his team, where when they need him most, he steps up, he gets 2 key headshots, one when he's behind Forklift, pinned down with the bomb, needs to kill the man in CT, boom, instant headshot there. I mean, Fallen every single time. There's so much clutch on SK.
And that was a real struggle in the second half, but it's nice to see that once Fur started to fall off the kills, because he had so many in the first half, it was out of control, but he started to cool down a bit in the second half. The rest of the team just sort of picked up behind it and said, all right, well then more for Fallen, more for Cold Zero. Phelps having some good rounds too, so I think overall it's good to see that the team works like that, and it's just they don't have to only rely on Fur getting 30+ kills, which by the way is still crazy.
It's repeat, right, from Fur yesterday. It was the same sort of scenario as well. SK were able to claw their way back into the match versus Na'Vi, but it was only because Fur was the one putting up so much of a fight. It allowed for the rest of his teammates to wake up and start backing him up. It's fun. It's almost the same exact scenario here that we just saw here on Cash. I'm assuming we're throwing to the analysts here.
Probably in a second. They might be late getting out of the green room. Who knows what's happening back there? In fact, we do know what's happening generally, but none of it we can actually say live on stream.
No cameras allowed, no microphones allowed.
Absolutely not. That's a sacred space. It really is. But what a game! What a way to get started. Now the question is, both teams spending so much energy in this one. Are we going to see equally a close game on the next map, or is it going to be, just North with such a big drop-off from losing 16-14, that can really come back and bite you.
All right, well, we just got word. It seems like they are ready. I'm sure Alex will have some explanations for us, along with some analysis around this first map.
Terribly sorry, we were just playing hopscotch in the playground, going down the slides, having some fun. Maybe you're going all in on black or whatever.
The only thing I understood there was scotch.
Scotch. Oh, yeah, hopscotch. Do you ever play hopscotch, or do you have a different word for it in Serbia?
I think we don't have time for this.
Yeah.
He's got you there. He has got you there.
Me a bit of a box there. He's right, some analysis does need to be done because we have a action-packed first map in our second semi-final of the day. Gentlemen, of course, Duncan Thor and Cheers, Jason Moses O'Toole, and Janko YNK Paunovic. We don't have time, Janko, and there's a reason for that. I'll let you dive straight in. A full 30 rounds, down to a 2v2 to close it out.
It's the best way to close out the game. I mean, the best way to picture how the rest of the game went. A lot of close rounds, a lot of clutches. You can see that both teams aren't really comfortable on the map. The way to getting the bomb down is a bit tricky for them, and also the after-plan situations have been a bit weird. But it has been an extremely close game throughout. SK a bit unlucky in the second half with maybe some of those clutches, but they had what it takes to close out the game.
Yeah, and what it takes, it seems, Jason, is Fallen closing out some rounds towards the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously some very sick shots from him at the end, and that's what they needed, because the story of that second half was the amount of clutches that they lost, the amount of times that Magisk bailed out North with like mid-round impact config with a bunch of big clutches. Really, this game to me just seemed like an economic struggle, because in the first half, SK gets started, they build up so much money very, very quickly, and in the second half, despite the fact that they're losing all these clutches and they're losing all these rounds in a row as North makes this comeback, as soon as SK wins one round, they reset at 14-14. It has to be a force buy at a North. So I mean, the fact that it's coming out of these clutches is great that North is winning them, but SK never really lost that economic control of the match. The money on the North side never really ballooned to the point where they were going to be able to just have this massive arsenal round after round after round.
Duncan, what do you make of it all? Seeing SK go 1-0 up in this series.
I mean, this actually just shows me that this North team now, especially with AZ's addition, are going to be more dangerous than the old Dignitas, because before AZ came along, I mean, they beat Virtus Pro on this at the Major. This is a map where someone's picking it into them, thinking like, this is a weakness, we can get them on. They came pretty close in this one. I mean, Magic's obviously doing a lot of work, like even beyond the scoreboard, impact kills. Probably got the best spray in all of Counter-Strike at the moment if you consider everything we've seen this week, you know, just absolutely fantastic skills. It wasn't a game, even though it's 16-14, where it was two amazing performances. It was two teams that had kind of shaky T-sides, but great Counter-Strike to watch, though, obviously, when it comes down to those 2v2s, those 1v1s.
SK's got to be feeling so fortunate they have players like Fur and coldzera to like bail them out during this time where they're bringing in Phelps and they're kind of and they're kind of coming back and they have to reform how they're going to play as a team, because they do look shaky, and we've seen it not only at the Major where Fur was like a hard carry, but in this event as well. It's Cold and it's Fur who are like the ones who are really like that duo. This system that is not working that we've seen SK have in the past. Yeah, it's very, very shaky, and the fact they have those two players are absolutely crucial to the fact that SK is able to stay alive in these events.
Truly is. Now, I think what we just have to quickly resurface and rehash is the fact that, kind of the Duncan's point here, SK picked Cash thinking this would be the free one. This would be the, okay, we catch North, you know, a little hamstrung and have a chance to go close it in two. But, I mean, a couple of situations, Janko, one or two, Jason's already insinuated it. This could very well have been a North 1-0 lead.
Yes, but it was a slight gamble for them, right? It's obvious that they prepared for Cash a little bit, especially on the CT side. You could see the different setups, you know, being boosted up early on in the Shroud position on the A bomb side, being aggressive towards A main with both Fallen and Taco. So they had a plan coming into the game, but they don't have as much routine as on some of the other maps. It hasn't been in their pool for a while. I really want to emphasize the point that Jason made about the economy from SK, because you can see that North is willing to, when they don't plant the bomb on the T side, they don't force into armors. They maybe buy a couple of pistols, but no armor. So what you saw in both halves, because SK won both pistols and they had a lot of SMGs, they didn't lose almost any players in the second or the third round. So they had so much bank. So it's the first gun round, you have 4 SMGs, let's say. Everyone has 6+ K in the bank. If you just get 3 kills and lose the round, you kind of won. Because the Ts need to rebuy. They don't have an optimal buy. You can have double up, you can have whatever you want. If you reset them, they're in an even worse place economically. So that's going to be a huge deal coming into the second map, because unlike some of the other teams where, you know, you see VP Astralis, the team loses the pistol round, but they might win the force buy, especially Astralis, for example. North is really dependent on winning that pistol, because if they don't, they give so much room to their opponents to have a good half. SK, we know on the CT side, when they get rolling, they're one of the most scary teams in the world.
And that's a brilliant way to summarize things, that the pistol will be very important coming into that second map, especially for the Danes. Jason, you have the privilege of giving us a little bit of a scene set for Overpass. Could it really be the end of the series?
Mirage is the next map.
My order is wrong. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes, Mirage is our second map.
Yeah, it's going to be that continued struggle with SK. Is can they still be a top team on this map? Because you're seeing now teams. This used to be a map that people feared playing them on, and now teams are picking it against them. I think the big story for this map is going to be how Phelps is going to work into this team. I still think he has massive impact with his aggressive plays, but also if you look at the North side, this is a map that I still feel like if you research North, if you just watch the events, you don't have to do research. Their players fall into some very, very dangerous tendencies where they're very frequently in similar positions. There's always going to be a player pushed on A ramp. There's always MSL likes to push the upper B tunnels. They like to be aggressive in apartments. So these are things that SK can take advantage of on their T side.
And now very quickly is yes or no, because we do have a break to attend, but do we see a third? Janko?
No.
Jason, yes?
Yeah, I think we do.
All right, there we go. The majority expects to see a third. I certainly hope we do. More Counter-Strike for us to indulge in before those grand finals. Virtus Pro are no doubt sitting here and watching as the Counter-Strike continues, and you can too as you join us after the break for Map 2.